In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. SANCTE Michael Archangele, defende nos in proelio, contra nequitiam et insidias diaboli, esto praesidium. Imperet, illi Deus, supplices deprecamur, tuque Princeps militiae caelestis. Satanam aliosque spiritus malignos, qui ad perditionem animarum pervagantur in mundo. Divina virtute in infernum detrude. Amen. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Greetings, listeners of the Latin Prayer Podcast. My name is Dylan Drago, and welcome back for another episode. Today, we're going to be going through the Saint Michael the Archangel prayer. I wanted to give you first a little bit of history on this prayer before we dive into how to easily learn and remember this prayer. This prayer was composed by Pope Leo XIII after he experienced a horrifying vision on October 13th, 1884, while consulting with his cardinals after Mass. Pope Leo XIII paused at the foot of the altar and lapsed into what looked like a coma. After a while, the Pope recovered himself and relating this terrifying vision he had of the battle between the Church and Satan. Afterwards, Pope Leo went to his office and composed this now famous prayer to Saint Michael the Archangel and assigned it to be recited after every low Mass, a position it occupied until Vatican II. It was recently recommended by Pope St. John Paul II in a speech to a crowd of pilgrims gathered in St. Peter's Square on Sunday, April 24th, 1994, as a prayer for the Church. Regardless of whether you attend the traditional Latin Mass or the Novus Ordo Mass, I believe this is a prayer that every individual and every family should know and recite daily. How foolish of us not to take His aid, to take His patronage, and to ask for His assistance in the daily struggles and battles of our life. And so, to assist you in making this great and powerful saint your friend, let's dive into learning this prayer, shall we? So how do we say Saint Michael the Archangel? SANCTE Michael Archangele. Pretty straightforward. How do we say defend us in battle? Defende nos in proelio. So defende is defend, nos is us, and in is in, proelio is battle. Now the next part in English goes, be our defense against the wickedness and snares of the devil. So how do we say this in Latin? Well, we'll start with how it sounds in Latin and then break it up as to what it means. Contra nequitiam et insidias diaboli, esto praesidium. So contra should make you think of the word controvert, or the opposite, or against, to counter something, right? So contra means against, nequitiam means wickedness, et insidias, think of insidious, means trick, or snare, or trap. So contra nequitiam et insidias means against the wickedness and snares. So how do we say against the wickedness and snares? Contra nequitiam et insidias. And then how do we say of the devil? Well, of the diabolical, diaboli. So against the wickedness and snares of the devil, contra nequitiam et insidias diaboli. And how do we say be our help, or be our aid, or be our protection? Esto, which means to be, and praesidium, which is be our defense, be our help, be our protection, or be our aid. So how do we say it all together? Against the wickedness and snares of the devil, be our protection. Contra nequitiam et insidias diaboli, esto praesidium. Now the next part in English goes, may God rebuke him, we humbly pray. Now if we think about this, the English word says to rebuke, and in Latin we have the word imperet, and imperet means to command, which has the same connotation as to rebuke. It's a very strong and powerful word. So imperet means command. Illi Deus, to him, O God, which is the same way as saying, may God rebuke him. We're asking God to rebuke or to command him. So imperet illi Deus, so command to him, O God. Supplices deprecamur. Now supplices should make you think of supplication. Think of when you kneel in supplication, what are we doing? We're begging. We are making ourselves very, very low. We're humbling ourselves before God. Deprecamur, we actually get the word deprecation from, and you might think of deprecation as the opposite of invocation or related to invocation. And what that means, the act of deprecating means praying against evil, or a prayer that an evil might be removed or prevented. So it's a style of pardoning or petitioning or asking for this help, right? So you're invoking something, you're deprecating something, it's praying against evil. So when we take all of this together, imperet illi Deus means command to him, O God, supplices, in humble supplication, deprecamur, against this evil, right? We're praying against this evil. That's how you put that all together. So may God rebuke him, we humbly pray, is imperet illi Deus, supplices deprecamur. So we're not just humbly praying, we're humbly praying that this evil might be removed or prevented from us in a strong, expressive way. So how do we say, and do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, tuque Princeps militiae caelestis. Tuque means and you. Princeps means prince. Militiae is militia or hosts or army. Caelestis means of heaven. So, and you, prince of the militia of heaven. Now the remaining part of this prayer in English goes, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl about the world, seeking the ruin of souls. So how do we say this in Latin? Well, the Latin, remember again, the words or the order of the words doesn't matter because the endings give the words their context in the sentence. So in the Latin version of this, what's happening is they're moving bits and pieces of this around. So we're going to take it from the Latin side this time. Satanam aliosque spiritus malignos. So Satanam should make you think of the word Satan. Aliosque should make you think of all. Aliosque just means all the other. So aliosque, think of the word all. So Satanam aliosque, so Satan, all the other, spiritus malignos. So spiritus is spirits, and malignos should make you think of malignant. So all of the other malignant spirits. Now the next part in Latin goes, qui ad perditionem animarum pervagantur in mundo. So let's take this bit by bit. Qui means who, ad means to. Perditionem should make you think of the word perdition or destruction, because that's exactly what it means. So qui ad perditionem means who to destroy, to cause the destruction. Animarum is all of the souls. So anima means soul. So animarum means all of the souls. So when you put this together, qui ad perditionem animarum means who to destroy all of the souls. Pervagantur, think of the word to pervade, which sometimes we would have that attached to a sense of smell because it spreads through every particle or every area. To pervade means to spread throughout, right? So pervagantur means to spread or to wander or to permeate every area. In mundo means in the world. So qui ad perditionem animarum pervagantur in mundo means who to cause the destruction of all of the souls spread throughout the world. Now the last bit of the line is divina virtute in infernum detrude, which is how we tie this phrase together. So divina should make you think of divine. Virtute means power. So those two words together means by the divine power. In infernum should make you think of in inferno, so into the inferno. And detrude means to push or to thrust or to cast. It's a strong word, detrude. So when we look at that last line, divina virtute in infernum detrude, it means by the divine power into the inferno cast. Amen. And that's how we have the entire prayer together. Now, I recorded this so that you could listen to the prayer just at the very beginning to end. You could always go to the very beginning of this episode, and you can practice it over and over by just skipping back to the beginning. Or you could continue listening to it in case you're having some trouble remembering the words, and we can go through the rest of it together. So, SANCTE Michael Archangele, Saint Michael the Archangel, defende nos in proelio, defend us in battle, contra nequitiam et insidias diaboli, esto praesidium, against the wickedness and tricks of the devil, be our defense, be our protection. Imperet illi Deus, command to him, O God, supplices deprecamur, right? We, in supplication, we beg you, tuque, and to you, Princeps militiae caelestis, Prince of the militia of heaven, Satanam aliosque spiritus malignos, Satan and all the other malignant spirits, qui ad perditionem animarum pervagantur in mundo, who, to cause the destruction of all of the souls, pervade throughout the world, divina virtute, by the divine power of God, in infernum detrude, into the inferno cast. Amen. And there you have it, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I would encourage you to please teach this prayer to your children. Share it with your family and friends. There are no greater advocates that we could have here on earth than our Blessed Mother by praying the Rosary every day, and Saint Michael the Archangel, our captain. Our Queen and our captain are there to do battle for us. They are there to help us in this journey so that we can reach our eternal home, heaven. Do not neglect teaching this to your children, and pray it every day. You'll have to accept my apologies for missing an episode last week. I will make it up to you. We're going to get 2 episodes out this week. Last week we started our first week of school, and just say homeschooling, now 3 kids being homeschooled, and then my daughter running around causing havoc for my wife. By the tail end of the week, I had the 3 boys. I just need to get them out of the house to do some outside stuff instead of in the house. And so that's the excuse for why I never got around to actually getting an episode done for you guys. So this week we'll have 2 episodes. We'll be finishing up with the Memorare, and that'll bring us to the end of this kind of segment of episodes on how to learn the prayers of the Rosary. I took a look at the emails this morning, and some of you have some fantastic suggestions. I'm looking for ways to put out an episode more than just once a week, but getting a full episode like this out where we're learning prayers takes a little bit of time to get everything organized, and I wanted to find a way, and God answered my prayers. Roxanne, thank you so much for your email and your suggestion on doing Bible verses for some type of meditation, to basically look at maybe the collect of the day, or maybe the introit of the day, and spend some time meditating on what those words actually mean, and taking that with you into the rest of your day, because maybe you're not able to make it to daily Mass, but this is a way that you can check out an episode, and I don't know that I could get it done every day. I'm going to try to figure that out this week, but I think I can. So no promises just yet that I'm going to do it. I'm going to work on figuring it out this week. I want to thank all of our patrons. For those of you that are in a financial position to support this podcast, I really appreciate you, because you are making it possible for me to continue to make these episodes. So thank you to all of my patrons. And if you are in a financial position to support this podcast, you can visit www.patreon.com// The Latin Prayer Podcast, or visit the link tree in the show notes, or on Instagram or on Twitter. If you are enjoying this podcast, consider leaving a review on iTunes or on Spotify. We actually have more listeners now on Spotify than we do anywhere else. So congratulations to all of you that are listening on Spotify. So please consider leaving a review. It's actually the easiest free way for you to support this podcast. And in terms of helping grow the podcast, again, please share it with your friends after Mass. Maybe you're going down for a coffee, tell them about the Latin Prayer Podcast and how it's helped you, and send them the link. And as always, we're going to finish up by praying for all of the patrons, for your families, and for your intentions. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Pater noster, qui es in caelis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimitimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio, et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. So until later this week, everybody, may God love you, may God reward you, and Our Lady keep you.